Well, that was quick. All right, I wasn't even given a countdown on this one. There's nobody listening right now. There might not be anybody listening at all as I go through this, which is fine. I just needed to get this out of the way. This is memes and articles, Rookie Livestream 12. Now, I'm kind of shocked and amazed at the number of memes that I had. It took 4 shows to get through it all. Hopefully there won't be that many. But I mean, it's like there's still a fair number on here. And again, right, hopefully this will be the last time I will have to do a memes and articles show for a while. This is what happens when you fall too far behind, though. And anyway, 9, 10, and 11, and this will take it to number 12. For those of you who don't know, I'm currently live streaming also on Kick and Twitch. Hold on a second. I am also at Odyssey, BitChute, Rumble, MGTOW TV, Bradion, and YouTube. Also at Minds Gab, MeWe, Facebook, Twitter, now X, Gab, and a few other places. I will post the links down in the low bar after the end of the show, or you can just basically go over to anything else that I have done, particularly the Red Pill Nation Hangouts. And I have all my links there. So anyway, let's just get right into this. Now, before I start though, I don't really feel like soapboxing tonight. In fact, I really haven't been feeling much up to anything, and I kind of understand why now, because I've actually got a bit of a headache tonight and I'm feeling cold. So maybe that's the reason why I wasn't particularly feeling very spritey for the last week or so. But yeah, I'm just going to say this right off the top. All of these memes and all of these article stories that I found because they came up on my feed. Now, I had a rather interesting discussion with some guys from the Sterling Men's Weekend about this issue. Like, why respond to all of these memes? Why give them a response? Like, why even give these individuals, these radical feminists, legitimacy? Now, and they brought up a good point. It's like, you don't engage with this crowd. I was actually very, very glad that the guys in Sterling anyway brought this to my attention. Why I'm doing this is that if you go through all of these videos, what you'll find is that I'm giving other men the tools that they need to deal with this crowd, right? It's like, it's one thing. And I mean, I knew this for years before I discovered the manosphere. I knew that there was something off about the whole situation. And I knew that something wasn't adding up, but I didn't necessarily have the words to put together to formulate exactly why. And that's exactly what I'm doing here. I'm giving men the means and the know-how to answer that and to pass this on to other men and to see through the rhetoric and to see through the propaganda. Because, I mean, I'm going to tell you right now, my personal gut feeling on this is that they're going to be coming at the manosphere incredibly hard next year. The manosphere is hitting critical mass. The establishment is doing everything they can to desperately try to take control of the narrative, because the narrative isn't working, right? X and Rumble are just not playing ball. And there are other platforms as well that are refusing to play ball. And because they are refusing to play ball, they're having to change their tactics, right? for instance, and I will be discussing this on RPN when I get around to doing another RPN show, which might even be as soon as tomorrow afternoon. But what they were doing in Portland is that they had basically two faces. They had, outside the ice facility, they had what they were doing in the afternoon. They had people in animal costumes dancing around, having a big celebration. The mainstream media would come out, and that's the scene that they would take, and that's the scene that they would run with when they went back to studio and spoon fed it to the crowd that wanted to see that type of information. Once the cameras were gone, then they reverted back into their old form, and they started getting violent and intimidating and whatever. The only problem is that there were independent journalists that were coming around and videographing what was going on, and they at first tried doxing, intimidation, threats, using their connections with either the city of Portland or the government of Oregon to intimidate or try to arrest, for instance, with Nick Sortor, to try to get that crowd, to intimidate that crowd into shutting up. That didn't work. And I'm noticing that they've backed off on this. This is what this is. This is, I think, people in the middle, and I think men that are kind of like purple pilled, or basically sort of aware that something is wrong but haven't put two and two together. If you take a look at all of these memes that I'm going to be in articles that I'm going to be bringing up, like, you're going to see how deep this rabbit hole goes. Now, that can bring up two responses. That can bring up, oh, God, that is depressing. We're doomed. We're done for. There's no point even trying to reason with them. Yeah, they actually have a point there, too, by the way. Why bother reasoning or trying to have a sane discussion with people who don't want to listen? At the same time, though, as you're going through all of these memes, you can also understand that is empowering to you. In seeing all of these memes that I brought up for 9, 10, and 11, and yeah, I won't be letting this slide as far as I have next time I do this. You can understand that you're dealing with a crowd of people that cannot be reasoned with, that cannot be negotiated with, you cannot come to an understanding with this crowd. What you can do is you can build up something for yourself and for the other men around you. And that's the basis from which you can start. And you can make sure that the white knights and the simps and the just other male feminists and the guys that are willing to sell out their own gender for reasons don't have the tools to shut it down this time. Just hold on a second. Sorry, folks. There was light reflecting like literally right off the screen and right into my face. So, you know what? Consider that. I'm going to do my level best to get through all of these tonight, and I'm going to stop talking here, and I'm just going to pick up right where I left off, right where I forgot to turn the microphone on the last show. So, yeah, let's just get right into this. Yes, I will say this again. Oh, yeah, one other thing. Do not contact, harass, or in any way try to shame any of the names of the people that got mentioned in this. Laugh at them from afar. Let their stupidity stand out for itself. Enough said. Okay, well, we're almost 10 minutes in, so let's go right at the 10-minute mark. There we go. Jessica Valente. Jessica Valente used to be like probably about 10 years ago. She was one of the most inflammatory feminists out there. And yes, she did write these articles that contradict themselves. And that's what feminists do. They like to write up these articles that just contradict themselves. And Valente has kind of dropped off the map a little bit. Why she dropped off the map, I don't know. But she has. But yeah, the other thing that I can specifically remember about Jessica Valente is that one time, I will give her credit for doing this, she actually had enough integrity to actually step out and debate MRAs at one point. Just she got absolutely destroyed because she came with rhetoric and no actual answers. And she didn't do it again. I don't know what she is actually doing with her life right now. I'm just actually, you know what? I'm actually going to look. I'm going to actually take a look here. Gonna use Google. Yeah, I got some very mixed opinions about Google, but it's Valente. Yeah, well, um, she doesn't really appear to be all that active anymore. I'm going over to her X account right now. Hold on a second. Let me just go over to her X account. I'm just gonna go find a few things out about good old Jessica Valente because she is really like, I mean, I have not seen or heard anything up from her in years. You know, maybe she's just decided not to be so inflammatory. But at one point, she was one of the worst ones out there. Yeah, hold on a second. Let me take V. All right. Well, she's got a blue check mark. She's cut her hair short. Yeah. She hasn't changed. She's just not as inflammatory or out there anymore, probably because others have gone there. You know what? She's not missed, but I mean, again, right? This is a very typical situation. I was dealing with a woman on Facebook very recently. I actually had to finally block her who was doing the same thing. She would say one thing and then she would say another. And the post that she had made just before contradicted what she had posted up now. And it was like, and telling her that only made her double down. If you think I'm lying about this, go back and look at the other three videos and then look at this one. Okay. Like 4 whole episodes just on memes. And by the way, I did not, again, I got to say this, I did not go looking for them. These are memes that appeared on my feed. And this is probably only accumulated over like 2 or 3 months. Yeah. Let that sink in. Moving on to the next one here. Come on. There we go. Oh, yeah. I actually had to respond to this one because this is just a completely out of, I mean, oh, you guys love blaming women for choosing the wrong woman. Never blame men who faked his entire personality just to get her. It's like, well, too many single mothers for that to be true. Also, explain why even and this is something that I have heard feminists talk about, oh, well, they grow out of it. They see these men for what they are. And it's like, no, they don't. I have seen women in their 40s and 50s marry and fuck the biggest asshole in the room. They don't grow out of this, right? Again, right, this falls into the lack of accountability section. And also, by the way, this also falls into the category of like we should somehow be responsible for the behavior of other men, but they should not have to take accountability for their own actions. Continuing on. Oh, yes. Another one. Again, I got to say this. Do not contact these people. This one actually still has her ex account up, which is phenomenally rare because what I have noticed with a lot of these accounts, especially a lot of these stunning and brave women, is that they will post up these, they'll make these posts and then they'll get called on it and then they'll just run away and hide. Or this lady here, this one right here, who proceeded to block me. Now, yes, you're not entitled to, you don't have to provide children, you don't provide men. We don't have to provide you with babies either. Also, you're not entitled to any of our time and any of our resources or any of our money. Oh, will I have my own money? That's not the point. You're still not entitled to our resources. Time, attention, energy are also resources. And by the way, as a MGTOW, I don't actually owe you an explanation as to why I don't owe you any of this either. So yeah, Lori, that sword cuts both ways. I will give her credit though. She's one of the few of the feminist women that actually made a statement like this and actually stayed online. Next one. Oh yeah, I'll take 5 million gazillion bajillion dollars for things that never happened. By the way, I could not find this person on X. Again, right, probably because her bullshit got called out to the point where she ran. A very common trait, by the way, with women that fall into this category. So, yeah, a woman stopped the masked ICE agents from entering a Home Depot. She filmed and demanded badges and ID. They left. Never underestimated the power to save lives. This woman stood up to them. She stood up to the people who were trying to grab. They were trying to grab. She said, enough. This is community care. First of all, if she had demanded ID, ICE agents would have had to provide it. So perhaps these guys weren't ICE agents, or I'm going to lean more into the second one that this didn't happen. I've hit stories like this before. Yeah, more than likely this did not happen. Again, I have not been able to find. She might be back now, but when I went looking for her a couple of weeks ago, I could not find this person. And again, do not contact. Next one. Seeing a man over 25 dating an 18, 19-year-old and biting the fuck out of my tongue because society accepts it, but I know that man is evil incarnate, and no woman his age would ever want him. And also, he's a pervert creep and should be in prison. Instead, I say nothing. Okay, so this is, first of all, if she is 18 or 19, I mean, I get into arguments with people with guys, conservatives and liberal with me, and I noticed that it's a lot of older women that tend to fall into this category. And yeah, I'm just going to say it. Like, they're basically trying to shame these guys for having a preference. Not that I'm going to say this, but I mean, it's like, if they're old enough to vote, they're old enough to serve in the armed forces, they're old enough to drive, they're old enough to have a security clearance, but somehow they're not old enough to have a relationship with the person that they choose to have a relationship with. This, by the way, this also goes with guys, right? I have had a direct experience one time with some per woman who actually came screaming at me because I was talking to some girl on a train platform at one point about this very same thing. I see a lot of cats in this woman's future. I see unmarried in this woman's future. My take on this is that if she's an adult, then she is free to be in a relationship with whom she chooses to be in a relationship with. It is not anyone else's call to decide otherwise. And by the way, yeah, if she's legal and you're dating her, you're not a pedophile, okay? Pedophiles are if you go under the range, and it's a very black and white line. Right? I have pointed out this legal. I've had people literally accuse me of being a pedophile simply for pointing out the legalities of the situation. And it's like there's law, and then there's your interpretation. Your interpretation is not applicable to the law. So it's like, yeah, both the man and the woman in the studio. Oh, and by the way, also, right? And this is something that I'm gonna put dollars to donuts down on this. Like, there's been a couple of people that I've called out on this that have said they would be just as angry if it was a woman doing it to the guy, but for the most part, no, they don't. So yeah, trying to conform to everybody else's standards about who you should and shouldn't see will drive you insane. See who you want to see, obey the law. If in doubt, don't go there. It's a really simple thing, right? And pointing that out, that does not make me a pedophile. All right, it doesn't, right? Pointing out age of consent laws to people who decide that it's wrong, period, does not make me a pedophile. All right, it doesn't. All right, moving on. I have never dated. I am not sure. It's been a while since I checked up this one. I'm going to have to go and look because this one, she might actually still be on. I am not sure, but I'm going to go take a look here. But yeah, this one. I have never in my life dated a man who plays video games. We are adults, correct? This is why this is a debate. This is why you're still, yeah, and then there's his response. Basically, she got owned. Again, right? Women in general have lost the right and the privilege of of dictating to men what is and isn't acceptable with their behavior when they broke the social contract, when they broke the social compact. So if if you want to play video games, right? It's not about whether another woman approves or doesn't approve of your hobbies, right? It doesn't, right? They broke the compact. They broke the social contract. The courts and the legal system um, do not back men up. You know what? Again, like going back to this last one here, right? If you tried to conform to all the rules that everybody else in society has over this, you would go absolutely like this one. What the? Oh, for God's sakes. Don't know what the hell happened there, but all of a sudden the whole thing just crashed for about a minute. I don't know what exactly happened. But yeah, that's what happens when you have an older computer, I guess. So going back, hold on a second, let me find it here. Okay, yeah, this one. So yeah, if you tried to conform to whatever somebody else decides is appropriate or not appropriate, you'd go absolutely insane. Just look at this one right here and go back to this one. Now, in the process of doing this, I have actually, let me go and see if X is up at this point. And of course, it's taking its sweet ass time coming up. All right. Well, oh, wait. Oh, there we go. Let me just take a look here at. Oh, she's still there. She is still around. Yep. No, she's still around. Again, right? Fuck her standards. Continuing on. All right, this one. Oh, this one. Alyssa Valdez Rod. She is actually still around too. She absolutely got spit roasted for this one too. I'm 55. My divorced straight woman friends with Eddie flaming turns to get into a relationship with a man again. My divorced straight men are desperate to find another wife. With time comes wisdom. Wisdom realizes men are overrated. Men realize they're overrated. No. A couple of things. And she got absolutely spit roasted for this. One, Alyssa, there's this thing called the wall. Okay. You can paint, you can put all the lipstick on that pig that you want to put on that pig. You're post wall. In fact, not only are you post wall, but you're significantly past post wall. Uh, and that's a fact, right? Like you know, uh, also when you deal with a woman this age, I mean, she's got baggage. She's gonna have a lot of baggage, and then it's like again, right? It's like you gotta love these women in their late 40s and their 50s that make these big, bad, brave pronouncements, and they seem to forget the fact that they're post wall, and that the guys that they're overrated until they go after younger women, and then so it's like again, right? If you go after younger women, you're a pervert. If you go after women that are your age, you're overrated and desperate. So it's like, yeah, I mean, this one actually did it, but I mean, it's like ultimately, Alyssa, you're post-wall, and you can again, like I said, you can put all the lipstick on that pig you want to put on there, but ultimately, you know, you're overrated too. And based upon your attitude, I wouldn't touch you with a 10-foot pole. Moving on. Oh, this one. They don't understand this is literally a win for women. And this is a video about artificial wombs. How is this a win for women? Like, how is this a win for women? Oh, okay, so women don't have to give birth anymore. Yeah, here's the thing. You throw in toxic female behavior, throw in feminism, you throw in the general decrease in the way society is working right now. Yeah. Also, and this is something that Rosh here seems to be forgetting. Let me just see if she's actually on here, because this one is also like rock. Oh, look at that again. Yeah, this is. I remember this one. Yeah, I just finished typing her. Yeah, she got absolutely spit roasted on this one. And again, right. Here's a biological fact for all you feminists out there, male and female. A female is not a physical equal to a man. They're not. Okay. A man can lift more, carry more, work harder, basically do a lot of things strength wise that a female just cannot, right? If they are going to clone anybody once artificial wombs come around, it's going to be males. Also, by the way, given the current attitude, and Rush just screams that out, right? Um, you know, a lot of guys are dealing with women because women are still the incubator. If they don't have to deal with the incubator anymore, it's like there's going to be a lot of guys that are just going to go, yeah, bye bye, don't have to deal with you anymore. Like, how is this a win, Rush? Like, seriously. Moving on. Oh, again, right? Once you know the tricks of the trade, it is impossible for a woman. This is where the MGTOW faction of the Manosphere comes into play. Once you know all the tricks and the trades of making men feel uncomfortable, like this will no longer be relevant. But I mean, this is what I'm talking about actual outright misandry, right? You know, um, like, yeah, like this is probably one of those ones that it like, I mean, it's posts like this that make me glad that I went MGTOW, right? Like, the hate is right out there, and it's like there's no way that you can say misandry ain't real when you look at a post like this. Moving on. Okay, this one might take a while, but I'm going to read through it. Reason why women like simps. Number one, free resources, gifts, ride, bills paid, help moving, all without commitment. Yeah. All the male feminists out there that rise up to the defense of milady and are not getting anything out of it and then get really pissed off when guys like me remind them that that's exactly what they're doing. Um, yeah, you know, again, right? Like that, like that one earlier, this one here, this one. Women don't owe the world any, they don't owe you any babies. We don't owe you any explanation. Yeah, we're not, you're not entitled to gifts, rides, to your bills getting paid, help moving. You're not entitled to resources. Time, energy, and attention are not are also resources. And to go to topic number 2, boosted ego, having someone worship you feeds self-esteem. Yeah, you're not entitled to our attention. You're not. See how that works there, Lori? See how it works? That works both ways. 3, backup plans. Tim's connections, emotional, romantic insurance when things go wrong with someone else. I can think of 3 different guys over the years, and one of them did eventually get the girl. But I mean, I can think of at least 3 different guys over the years who were in this situation. And it's kind of tragic because you listen to these guys and you just face palm, right? It's like, just walk the fuck away. Number 4, no challenge. They're easy to control, and some people enjoy that power dynamic. Yeah, like, here's the thing about this. This is the reason why I dislike simps so much, is because, a lot of these guys are under the impression that this is what they got to do to get a chick. And if they keep working hard enough, they will eventually get her. And it's like, I mean, like, some of these women are just like pure out and out using guys. And I know a couple women who are like this. 5, low risk. Simps really call it bad behavior, set boundaries, making them easy and making them safe to exploit. Yeah. Yes. Guys, have boundaries, hold them. Period. End of story. 6, validation on demand. Simps are like emotional vending machines, always ready with compliments, likes, and attention. Yeah, and of course, they get absolutely nothing to show for it. 7, public props. Having a simp around looks good on social media. Gifts, trips, and dates can be fixed for clout, and even if she's not into. Oh, remember that? I did a video years ago. Guy spent $10,000 to meet his favorite OnlyFans model and got a hug out of it. A hug. That's it. That's it. Right? And of course, she went on vacation with her actual boyfriend. Wow. 9, comparison tool. She uses him to make her actual love interest jealous, or to prove that other men are willing to do more. Yep, I follow. This number 9 applies to me specifically. I was involved with so many women that were in relationships that I didn't realize that. I mean, I knew this was happening to other guys, but I mean, I didn't realize that this was happening to me. And it was like, literally almost every woman that I got into a relationship with was seeing another guy. And it was like, to the point. And it was the sneaking around and the having to be careful and having this and that and something else going on and having her run out. And this happened back in, was it 2018? She's married to the guy now, by the way. I walked into a coffee shop here, just right close by where I live, and she saw me and she went running out the back door. Actually, that happened more than a few times. A woman I was seeing would bolt out the back door, or would run onto a bus, or would cross the street, or would do something because she was with the guy she was actually with. Yeah. 10, training wheels. She uses him to practice being in a relationship without risking her heart, knowing he won't walk away no matter how she treats him. Yeah. Um, simps have their uses. Simps are entirely, and this is something, I mean, they try to paint these guys up as paragons of virtue, and they're not paragons of virtue. And, you know, how, yeah, like, to the guys out there who are listening to this, it's like you're a tool to her. If you're providing all of this stuff, not giving her and not having boundaries and not having your feedback. I mean, also, by the way, one of the big reasons why men, actual male men, don't like simps is because people like this will give shit away. They will spill the beans, spend money, take stupid risks, do stuff for a woman that they're not even sleeping with, and they will potentially get other guys in trouble. Like that again, that ultimate expression of guys that that just gave that one dude who said $10,000 on a hog. Like, where else could that money have gone? And there's this one guy on MeWe years ago. Oh, it's his money. He has the right to do with it as he pleases. Yeah, I have the right to look at him and call him a massive fucking simp and a weak man and a guy that I wouldn't trust to have my back in any type of a situation. Anyway, moving on. Oh, reminder to. Oh, first of all, I won't get into physical appearances here. Reminders to fragile men. A woman's clothes, body count, how down there looks, and her occupation doesn't correlate with promiscuity, nor does it matter. Actually, yeah, it does. And taking a look at you with your septum rings and your huge earrings and your neck tat. By the way, guys, if she's got a neck tat, uh, you know, and if she looks like this, you need to be running the fuck away from her. Um, Also, look at the tats on her arms. Jesus Christ. I mean, it's like, yeah, actually, it does matter. And I have actually done a video on this 14 reasons why a high body count is a bad thing. And I go into them, and it's, you know, actions equal consequences. I mean, you can choose to go for a woman like this. I wouldn't. But I mean, just remember, dude, when you're potentially, and this is just the top of the first one, potentially dealing with an STD. She has an STD that's permanent, and she can't have kids because of it, or she slept with so many guys that there's a high statistical probability that at least a couple of those guys were mean. In fact, there's probably a lot of world class assholes out there that you'll have to deal with. There's always, with a woman like this, there's always orbiters. Yeah, it does matter. And having standards, men, does not make you fragile. In fact, what I'm going to be doing here at this point is I'm going to be just giving a response. I'm also going to be giving advice to men as I go through these. Just saying. Next one. Nico Jenkins. This one is also probably. This one is also, I don't think she's on Twitter anymore. Nico Jenkins, never marry a man who is interested in your past, wants you to pay 50-50, has issues with your kids. Yeah, past is kind of important, right? Again, I can think of 2 or 3 guys who got involved with a woman with a rather sketchy past and had that sketchy past catch up with her. Also, wants to pay 50-50. Go back to this one. Remember this one? Yeah. Don't owe you anything. Yeah. So, yeah, you're not entitled to anything. Oops. Yeah. This is what I'm talking about when I say it feminist contradiction. So, it has issues with your kids. I haven't gone into, there are multiple videos out there that explain why dating is getting involved with a single mom is not a bad idea. Yeah, just not a good idea. Next one. Narcissistic men be like, let's have a baby and trap you and ruin your career finances for total control. Pregnancy is the finish line for a male narcissist. The baby is just leverage, expendable when it no longer suits their needs. Or you can keep your legs closed. Also, this particular meme is shaming women who just want to be moms. Like a lot of women out there just want to be moms, right? Um, Also, knowing what and this is for them, this is the manosphere part of it. Knowing what the child support laws are like and alimony laws are like in a lot of places, that's not really the finish line. It's not, you know. I certainly wouldn't be going there. And again, right? How about you keep your legs closed? All right, that think you can manage that. Moving on. Oh, this one. Here's another one about body count. Kelly Peterson. Dear man, instead of asking your body count, try asking yourself if you're man enough to make her forget all the others. Well, okay, first of all, I've covered this at one point. In a battle of you versus the world, you're going to fall short. And yeah, I got to keep saying this, man. Body count does matter for multiple reasons. All of them either directly or indirectly connect to choices that the woman makes and the consequences of those choices. And the accountability. And there's an ongoing theme here, right? The denial of accountability. You're going to see that a lot. But moving on to the next one here. Same one. Signs of an alpha male. Never judges you for past, supports your child as your own, never asks you for financial help. Well, then again, go up to this one. Again, you're not entitled to anything, right? Not interested. Again, there's multiple reasons. All right, like you're not entitled to a man's resources, time, attention, energy, money. Okay, you do not. And oh, by the way, I will tell you right now because I actually did take a look and see if she was actually on here, but I'm going to double in here and I want to take a quick look here. By the way, again, I have to say this. Don't contact these individuals. There are some responses to her. Again, right? Women they broke the social contract, right? So there's no point in having this discussion with them. Moving on here, right? Yeah, and oh, by the way, yeah, she made a whole bunch of these big, bad, bold statements on Twitter, and then when she got roasted for them, she deleted her account. Surprise, surprise. Moving on. Oh, I have done. Back when I was doing the MGTOW Master series, I did a series. I did a particular video called Bad Thoughts on Mia Khalifa. There is another video. I can't remember who it was that got into her past. She was into suggestible, like controversial lifestyles even before she got into porn. She was actually doing webcamming before she got into porn. She was doing swinging lifestyle before she got into porn. All right, so yeah, doing porn wasn't a conscious decision. I woke up one day and decided it would be fun. It was the systematic conditioning to make me feel like I wasn't worthy unless men desired me, and that men desired me and ultimately pushed me to do it. Again, complete and absolute, not taking accountability for personal decisions. Also, again, and I mean, I've done a video response to her. There's been multiple video responses done to her. Yeah, doing porn was the natural outcome of what you were doing. You were already a webcam girl before you did porn, right? Feel free to fact check me on this, right? I have pointed this out. She has done some really self-entitled videos over the years, and I'm going to just say that, I mean, there's women out there that you really wish didn't hit the wall. And then there's women like this where it's like you are so happy. Like, she has one hell of a body. I will absolutely, totally, and freely acknowledge that. Although apparently she's gotten a few more tats based on her September. Oh my God. Wow. Wow, man. It's looking more and more and more like the wall has started to catch up to her. Again, right? And it's a good thing, right? There's, like I say, there's women out there that you really wish hadn't hit the wall. And then there's women like this that you're glad that they did. This is one of these ones that's glad that you did. And I already know. You take a look at someone like this, and again, she just says stuff one moment and it contradicts herself the next, right? She's been married 3 times. Yeah. Also her first marriage. Yeah, no. There's videos about her out there. It's like, no, she wasn't, it wasn't, she was going in that direction. This is just her not facing accountability. Surprise, surprise. Next one. All right, for someone who keeps calling men, she keeps degrading herself to appeal to the male gaze. Sabrina Carpenter's tone deaf album cover slammed for extreme misogyny. How ironic is it that Sabrina Carpenter, again, right? There was actually a post up at a group here, like not even 2 days ago, where there's this woman like shaming men for liking Sabrina Carpenter. And yeah, I will freely admit Sabrina Carpenter is very easy on the eyes. She's very, very short, apparently, too. And yeah, this is very, very similar to Mia Khalifa, right? And I was like, yeah, you know what? Yeah, she has, again, like Mia Khalifa, although she didn't do porn, right? She also has done and said stuff and abdicated personal responsibility for her behavior. Again, this is part of the reason why I'm not a fan. Although, again, right, the most recent thing I saw of Sabrina Carpenter, she had absolutely no problem basically doing a Saturday Night Live sing song with a pair of panties and a t-shirt on and literally nothing else, right? But somehow men are pigs. Just letting you know, right? Moving on. This one, if I'm living with a man, gotta go 50-50 on rent. I'm dating other men. Again, right? Like this strange, weird feeling of women don't owe world children, they don't owe men babies, and they don't owe you an explanation. But somehow they feel entitled to a man's resources, to a man's attention, and not giving anything in return. Yeah, not your ATM. Guys, again, if you encounter a woman like this, you're not her ATM, you're not her chauffeur, you're not her servant, right? Real simple equation. Is the fucking you're getting worth the fucking you're getting, right? If the answer is no, it's time to leave. If the answer is yes, then maybe stick around. But I mean, if I'm paying for all of the rent, then there had better be something. And I hate that. What are you bringing to the table? Feminists, fuck your feelings if you're listening to this. What are you bringing to the table? Right? Because if I'm paying the rent, there's got to be something on your side. That's how it works. Okay? And if you want to date other men while you're living with me, the relationship is over. And if you're a guy in that situation, yeah, time to pull the plug on that relationship. Moving on. When I hear the phrase, man, don't start drama. Again, I have never heard anybody use that as a phrase. If it has been used as a phrase, it has been used in a phrase in terms of contact of relationship stuff. Right? Again, right? This is absolutely tone deaf. And I mean, I'm going to have to assume that the woman who did this is knowingly being willfully ignorant about that particular issue. Of course, men start drama, right? I have never heard a man say that. However, when it comes to the relationship dynamic, yeah, women definitely start most of the melodrama. End of story, right? Like, I mean, out of context and dishonest. Moving on. Women throughout history have built grassroots movements, communities, and deep, meaningful bonds with each other. I will start a community for women in my city called something like the Lonely Girls Club, and it'll have an Instagram and a cute pink logo, and we'll meet up every month in cafes and start book clubs. Men experiencing loneliness. I will become right wing. Well, first of all, the manosphere is not specific. I mean, a lot of people seem. I got to keep saying this. The reason why the manosphere is conservative or to the right is because the left has been completely dismissive of masculinity as a concept, right? Overall, though, the manosphere is politically nonpartisan, right? It is not. I have gotten into it. I mean, I have seen some conservatives on the left say stuff about the manosphere that is like as tone deaf and as stupid as some of the things that I've seen feminists say under different context. Okay. The manosphere, and it's not just, and it isn't just men experiencing loneliness. The manosphere leans to the right politically because at least the right is not specifically against the manosphere, right? Not because of conservatism or anything like that. I mean, yeah, again, whoever wrote this, whoever did this one is tone deaf. Also, by the way, men's groups or doing anything that the woman above is saying will, when the guys try to do it, they do everything in their power to prevent it from becoming fully organized. Yeah. No comment on that. Yeah, I didn't think so. Right? Like rebuilding men's networks is given, especially given the number of memes that I've done over the past 4 shows, like this is absolutely necessary. Moving on. Oh, look, is there anything worse than a male feminist? Oh, and this was this guy. fled Twitter, by the way. Solomon Giorgio, male loneliness epidemic. It's hilarious because the cure is not to be an unlikable piece of shit. Sir, put yourself in that prison of sadness and your keys are in your pocket. Here's the ironic part. He's not actually wrong. Again, though, speaking from the MGTOW perspective here, I am through trying to comport myself to female value, to the current modern female value system. Guys like Solomon Giorgio are disgusting, right? Like, again, right? I know that this guy's one of the blue pill manosphere guys because I have never heard of him. But wow. This is just like, wow. Solomon, you are just like absolutely fucking tone deaf. Like, what a. Like, your response is hilarious. And speaking from a guy in the manosphere, you're an unlikable piece of shit. Okay? And if you don't like me calling that, well, you chose to post this up, right? And yeah, to a certain degree, yeah, the keys are in my pocket, but it's sort of like, yeah, I'm going to go and open the door that I choose to open, not the one that an asshole like you decides that I should. Moving on. Wall of text here. Unapologetically, my list for men is 1. Must have completed and graduated with a bachelor's degree at least 1 year ago. I have ghosted men for finding out he graduated December with his master's degree. I have a film school degree. Must make $100,000 either a job or via business. No exceptions. Must be 6'1" or taller. No exceptions. If there is an age gap, it must be no greater than 5 years. No exceptions. He must have a completely intact airline in all of his teeth. No exceptions. He must work out regularly and have a visible six-pack. I will not date fat guys. He must be free of drugs, alcohol, and tobacco. He must be childless at the time of matching. He must never have participated in the armed force or in the related fields. I swipe left all veterans. I block and close any man I match with that later reveals that they was served in the armed forces in any capacity. This applies to cops, firefighters, EMT guards, and related professions. Same for the relevant department's DO. There are no exceptions to this. If he served for even 1 minute, he's ghosted. He must not have access to firearms or weapons. If I see a gun in his profile, I swipe left. If we matched and later reveals that he hunts or shoots for sport, I block, ignore, no misogynistic men who use incel language in their profiles. Well, okay, incel language is like basically anything that's critical of women at this point. Low effort profile. He must be within 15 miles of where I live. There is no deal. I'm waiting more than 10 minutes for a man to pick me up. No exceptions. He must not be religious. I'm not giving up my Sundays and eating my weird or sacrificing any god or traveling to pilgrimage anywhere or doing any weird ritualistic shite ever. No exceptions. Okay. I am reminded of a video done by TJ Kirk, the Amazing Atheists, years ago, where a woman posted up this long list of you might be a rape supporter, and it was such a long list that basically it was designed to eliminate any man out there. This is what this list is about. She just doesn't want to date men. And she is just basically coming up with these arbitrary rules so she can make the claim that she couldn't find a man to meet her standards. And no, it's not that. You just never liked men in the first place, and this is what this is about. What I'm going to suggest for guys here is that if you see a woman like this, just like you see a woman who posts up stuff like this, or posts up stuff like this, or this, just walk the fuck away. Seriously, just walk the fuck away. It's not worth the hassle. Moving on. Watching the boys you grew up with become alt-right red pill misogynists has to be the worst kind of heartbreak. Well, yeah, and there's a reason for that happening, and it's not your call, because more than likely, if you're posting up something like this, then you probably participated in it. And again, right, the manosphere is not going back to this one, the manosphere is not specifically right wing, nor is it alt right. The fact that you even have alt right and red pill in the same sentence tells me that you don't know what the fuck it is you're talking about. Right? Yeah, this one's almost laughable, right? Like, this person has absolutely no, but they will go and they will make these stunning and brave pronouncements about men. It's like, yeah, no, chances are that if a woman, that if she is this ignorant about the manosphere, yeah, what can I say, right? Move the fuck on. By the way, there's going to be a lot of move the fuck on. Here's another one that's just absolutely freaking hilarious. And you got oh my god, I'm laughing at this one. I didn't come from your rib, you came from my vagina. Yeah, okay, that's probably true. Here's the problem. You didn't self-impregnate. And also, you know, yeah. So what, you self-impregnated, and I didn't come from your vagina. I came from my mother's vagina. And I do not magically owe women everywhere a debt of gratitude. I owe support to my mother for giving birth to me, perhaps, but I certainly don't owe you a debt of responsibility. Also, by the way, let's go back to this one here, right? This is the reason why. You want to know why? The reason why that is going to be such a win for men, because women like this exist. Period. End of story. Go look at this. Want to know why this is becoming so popular? Because of this. Moving on. Pro-fat is not anti-health. Yeah, well, I've also gone over this. Diabetes. There's all sorts of health issues linked to obesity. You know, diabetes, blood cholesterol, heart problems, joint problems, heart issues, circulatory issues. I could go on and on and on and on and on. And yeah, it is anti-health. And I am not as a guy in the manosphere, you are not under any obligation to co-sign any delusions of this type. And yeah, it is anti-health, right? Like, and again, you don't have to co-sign any of this stuff. Moving on. This one, Misandric Mary, the relationship expert, says older men date and marry younger women because they know women their age can see through their lies and manipulation wouldn't give them the time of day. Okay, where is that one? I'm 55 years old and men wouldn't. Here it is. This one by Alyssa Valdez. Again, right? You're post-wall. You're attempting to shame men for having a preference. And it's not that you wouldn't give it the time of day, but if you look at the face on this one, it's like, it's like they're trying to put a veneer on their problem as opposed to doing something about it. Okay. Not that they can't see through you. By the way, again, I'm also going to point this out. I've seen even women in their 40s and 50s marry the biggest asshole in the room. I have. Right? So, yeah, like, don't fucking go there with me on that one. Moving on. Men are mad because women are finally choosing themselves and setting for a mediocre man. Let's go back to this. Remember this list? Again, feminism broke the compact. Guys, feminism broke the social contract, right? We are under no obligation. In fact, I would strongly advise that you not get married. But I mean, it's like, we're not mad. We just don't give a shit, right? It's like we can find other things to do with our time, right? Again, this is like this one right back here, right? Just attempting to point a veneer and not take accountability. And you wonder why there's groups on Facebook with 100,000 plus people talking about how women don't take accountability, right? This is the reason why. Moving on to the next one here. Personally, this one. Oh my God, this one. Personally, I think false reputation are the best option to getting these men being taught a significant life lesson. Sending a man to jail for something that he didn't do is a significant life lesson. Again, I'm not sure if this is another one of those ones that I'm actually looking at. I'm going to look at her. I'm going to see, because again, a lot of the women, when they post stuff up like this, they get absolutely roasted. Oh, this one is actually still around. However, she has deleted. She deleted everything on. Again, one of three things happens when they post up stuff like this. One, they post this stuff up, and then when they get roasted, they leave Twitter altogether. Two, they post it up, and then they ghost their profile or engage in mass blocking. Or three, they ghost their profile, and then they come back and they delete everything on their profile, and it's like they never posted it up at all. The only problem is that they don't and they never come back. And it's like, yeah, this is another one of those. It's like, wow, man. So I should worry about being falsely accused and gain a valuable life lesson from it. Yeah, like this is just disgusting. And there's another one coming up three posts from now. Actually, here, let me just put this one up right now. I'll go to this one here. This one is just wow. Manosphere justified. That's what this one is. Men, give me your body count. Give me your submission. Give me your youth. Give me your beauty. Give me your science. Give me your loyalty. Give me a child I won't raise. Give me a maid I won't pay. Give me sex on demand. Give me peace, but I don't expect you emotional labor. Give me your independence. Give me the benefit of the doubt. Give me a second chance. Give me a woman I can build and replace. Give me a woman who earns but never outshines. Give me validation. Give me a woman I can fix. Give me Give me her mind, body, and soul, but don't ask me for mine. Give me without a. Wow. This. You want to know why the manosphere is growing exponentially? This is the reason why. Um, I don't know who wrote this, but this sounds like a woman who would probably fall into the same category as this woman, or fall into the same category as this woman, right? Like, yeah, like these are, yeah. All I'm going to say about this one is Manosphere Justified. That's all I got to say about this one. Now let's go back. Let's go back a couple here. This one. No. You're either born you're born male or female. Also, this is something that I'm seeing more and more frequently with a lot of transgenders. No, you are not transphobic because you like have sex with women, like actual women and not women with dicks, right? I find it very ironic. And again, I'm going to point this out about feminists, right? Let's go back to this one. Don't know your world, don't know your babies, they don't need an explanation. Well, that applies to men and women with dicks. You're not entitled to any sex or any attention or any dates or anything from a heterosexual man. And fuck your shaming tactics about, oh, well, no, you're transphobic. If you don't know, fuck that shit. No, I like women. Period. End of fucking story. All right? Like women. Period. Not entitled to a man at all. And you're not entitled to sex or attention or dates or anything from a guy. Just like a guy is not entitled to any of those things from a woman. And I don't have to explain to you why. Why? Because Lori Penny says so. That's why. Moving on. Oh, note to males: your daughters fear you, your wives resent you, your sisters are embarrassed by you, your mothers regret your conception, your female friends yearn for your death. When we smile at you, it isn't affection; it's a defense mechanism against your violence. Wow. Wonder why the manosphere again? Right. I actually saw a woman actually call this out. Again, I rarely see women calling out toxic behavior like this. And again, this is an attempt to smear all males with the same brush, right? But when men point out stuff about how women behave, we're just being misogynistic. Okay, moving on. All right. This has got like some type of a hallmark situation. I mean, this is one of those the left can't meme. Um, you know, like wow. This is like something out of a Hallmark movie, and it's like again, right? Past giving a shit at this point, but again, right? The chances of again, right, because of the current modern manosphere, the chances of an actual single. Well, actually, maybe she's not. Maybe she didn't have kids with the guy. Maybe the guy's true. There's a context here, but I mean, it's like, yeah, yeah, freedom. Again, there's a lot of context missing here. Um, yeah, this one this one is like literally so fucking stupid that I can't even really sum up what I'm going to say about this one. I had something that I was going to say about this one, but I can't remember what it was. The thing that's coming up is Hallmark romance. Also, by the way, if the woman down below is a single mom, the chances of her getting a guy like this is like almost zero. All right, moving on. Also, the guy up at the top. Again, feminists want the reassuring lie that a guy is going to be like this, but unfortunately, it's not the case a lot of the time. But anyway, moving on. Oh, wow. This woman. Masculine men don't simp for Nazis. Well, first of all, name the guy in the manosphere that has simped for a Nazi ever. Uh, Masculine men don't worship billionaires. Again, right? Masculine men don't cry over pronouns. Masculine men don't fear feminism. Right? Fight for the oppressed. Masculine men fight fascism. Masculine men are for equality. Masculine men are self-aware. Masculine men are woke. I've called out. I gotta look. I gotta look, man. Like this is just like one of the stupidest. Oh, look, she is actually still around. Wow, she's actually still around. Again, there was an attempt. There has been an attempt, and this is being done by guys in the blue pill manosphere to attempt to redefine what alpha male is and what masculine male is and whatnot, and it's falling flat because the manosphere is now large enough that when they try this shit, I mean, it sounds really stunning and brave. And this is something that a lot of women find out the hard way, in particular on Twitter. Stuff like this sounds stunning and brave inside their own little circles. But when they try to push this out into the general public, it falls flat. Because again, right, feminists broke the social contract, right? Women broke the social contract, right? Yeah. The level of ignorance of this person is just staggering. I will give her credit though; she did stay online, unlike some of the women on here. Next one up. The whole generation worked to empower women, but forgot to teach men how to live with empowered women. No. Again, this is another one of these cope memes. Men, they broke the social contract. They practiced misandry. They got gynocentric courts. They got corrupt family and law courts. They got the Duluth model. Like, I could go on and on and on and on and on and on, and they won't accept accountability for any of the stuff that they've done, and you can't reason with them, right? Not interested. I mean, I've lost track of how many women have declared themselves to be empowered, and they've ended up being some of the most toxic, disgusting human beings that I've ever come across. So it's like, yeah, not interested in learning how to live with empowered woman, right? You want to be empowered? You can go be empowered over there. I don't have to deal with your bullshit, and I'm not going to, right? Because I know what your empowerment means. I've seen versions of female empowerment defined by feminism, and no thank you. Moving on. Remember that fat phobic one up here? Yeah, this is another one of these. This is another one of these posts. No, No, I don't think they would look like that. But again, right, you got to understand. I mean, I can't remember which one it was. I'll see if I can't find. This one here, right? By the way, Layla Bourne is not on Twitter anymore. But it was like, yeah, like these are women that will. She posted this up and she got absolutely owned and destroyed. Same sort of thing going on here, right? They are desperately trying, and they're also at the same time trying to do stuff like this, you know, and it's not working now because there's a manosphere out there calling it out. But again, right, this is another attempt. This is a kind of like the same sort of thing that happened with Sydney Sweeney. That's what this is, right? And I'm not even interested in reading this. Can we stop? Uh, Not really interested in having any kind of a discussion with this. Um, right? There's varying body types, and yeah, you know what? You've been trying really, really hard to try to shame men. Let's go all the way back to literally the first post I made. This one. This one right here. You know, Trying to shame men for liking what they like. And I like what I like, and I like that. Like I don't like this. Right? And no amount of screeching and hollering and shaming is going to get me to not like what I like. Okay? This stuff sounds stunning and brave and looks stunning and brave when it's inside. And I'm going back to the brony group, right? Like this is kind of like what happens. This is also the same sort of thing that happens with addicts, right? The behavior of everybody else around you is agreeing with you, and it doesn't seem abnormal what you're doing until you step outside of that sphere and you look at it from a different perspective, and then it's like it doesn't make any sense. This is, and it's like, again, I am not entitled to have to I do not have to co-sign your insanity or your personal body issues. I don't, and neither do you guys. This one. Again, right? Manosphere does not have a political I don't know why people keep thinking them. The only reason why the guys in the manosphere generally, say, for instance, in the U.S., are voting for Trump is because the left is complete. And this is something that just keeps happening over and over and over again, right? Like the left is completely dismissive of masculinity and men's issues in its entirety, right? Uh so yeah, of course the manosphere is going to lean to the right. And the loneliness epidemic isn't really I mean, it's for the guys that are in that situation, the guys that are in the TFL or trying to seek validation by seeing by where it's like, yeah, guys, figure yourself out first, right? Yeah, the manosphere does lean to the right. The manosphere leans to the right again because the political left. Well, first of all, the political left is just like so far out in left field now; it's beyond funny. But I mean, again, right? It's like to make the assumption that this is the cause of the male loneliness epidemic is just an absolute. Because, like, I mean, a lot of the guys who are lonely and would like a girlfriend are not even aware of the manosphere in any capacity. when they get into the manosphere, they quickly discover the red pill, and then they'll discover MGTOW, and then they realize that they don't even have to even strive for that sort of thing anymore. Yet some of them will end up like Dave. But I mean, it's like, yeah, not even remotely accurate. Also, this is a meme, and I've seen a lot of this. This is a meme borrowed from the manosphere. Moving on to the next one. Now, this one is funny. Anyone notice that the rise of the male illusion has occurred at the same moment that toxic red-pilled alpha males like Joe Rogan and Andrew Tate have gained millions of followers? No? Okay, then. Joe Rogan's not a member of the manosphere. Has never been a member of the manosphere, right? Tate, again, he is Tate is Tate. He is a member of the manosphere, and he was the most Googled man in 2023 for a reason. Right? And, this isn't just something like the manosphere and this look loneliness epidemic and all this stuff that didn't just happen overnight. And again, this is a two-way street, right? It's like the reason why there's a male loneliness epidemic is because you have women like this and 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 like this. You gotta accept responsibility, you gotta take accountability for that. Are you? No? Okay, well then I don't have to necessarily justify it. But again, right? Like I love this base assumption that somehow Joe Rogan is a member of the manosphere. Joe Rogan has never been a member of the manosphere. Again, right? The very fact that she posted this up and thought it was like some kind of stunning and brave own. No. Next one. Yeah, that would be true, but unfortunately, in a lot of cases, like that would like showing vulnerability in front of women is just not a good idea. It's not. There are times and places where it happens, but again, right? It's like this is toxic masculinity touching men, they don't have to cry. Well, it's like if they do concede weakness, they'll leave themselves open to not only just other bad men, but women who will manipulate and browbeat and bully them. This is not just a a situation, but again, right? Yeah. Sort of okay, but not. This next one. Darwin Award level stupid on this next one. If we deported mega mans aged 17 to 50 and placed them immigrants, the violent crime rate would drop 70 to 80% against women and child would be, fuck. When this one got posted up, it was like, do you have any when this woman posted this one up, did she have, they have no statistical evidence or anything to back up what they're saying here? Like none. And it's not the MAGA men 17 to 50 that are committing most of the crimes. There are the criminals are committing most of the crimes. Right? Like this fucking idiot could not, and that's what I have to call this. This is the Everest of stupid. This one. That's how bad this one is. This is like the Mount Everest of stupid. That's how bad this particular post is. It's like complete ignorance of of actual crime rates, complete actual ignorance of crime stats. Like, yeah, like, wow, man. It's not the mega men who are committing 70 to 80% of the violent crimes. Oh, and by the way, have you also heard of the Muslim grooming gangs that are around in Western Europe right now? Yeah, that's a thing. You Let's go back to 2017 in Cologne. That was done by immigrants. That was an organized group rape event done by immigrants, right? They keep ignoring that. Let's move on to the next one here. Oh my God. Well, first of all, like, don't know if this one is actually real or not, but if I were to put this woman on the 1 to 10 scale, she probably would at most probably be about a 4 or a 5. Like, based upon what I'm seeing here. I mean, I'm even wondering if this one is true. Like, this one is just like ran into a whole bout of stupid here, but this one is definitely another one of these stupid ones. Again, right, guys, be you. Don't worry about whether she approves of you or not. Yeah, fuck her feelings. All right, let's move on to the next one here. This one, faithful. I hate this generation. Men nowadays will break up with you for cheating instead of just fighting to keep them fighting the man you cheated with and forgiving. No, man, you cheated. Accountability. You cheated. Period. End of story. Right? If he cheated on you, would you be fighting to get him back? Probably not. Right? Like, wow. Talk about, again, like going back. Let me just go through. Entitled, 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 hateful, hateful, misandric, clueless, entitled, hypocritical, hateful, entitled. Wow, man, like, no, I'm not fighting for you. You again, right? You broke up with guys. If she breaks up with you, if she cheats on you, yeah, it's like make a judgment call. But likelihood it's time to leave. It's time to leave that relationship, right? End of story. Bye. This one, oh my God. My daughter was born in January of this year. I'm done playing games. Me and my daughter are a package deal. Oh yeah, she is ready to settle down. Where's the dad? The dad was an asshole. But it's the man's fault for manipulating you. That's it, right? You're ready to settle down now. Like, holy crap. Sorry, where's the guy you slept with? Where is he in this picture? Oh, man. Wow. I mean, I'm trying to not be so negative here, but I mean, you start going through all of these, and it just keeps getting worse and worse and worse. Here's the next one. Yeah, this is another one of those accountability ones. Yeah. By the way, ladies, let us. How about practicing safe sex, condoms, and that sort of thing? And yeah, going back to this one here, like if he was capable of withholding promiscuous sex, this one wouldn't have been an issue. Yeah, wow. Moving on here. Next one. Um, I remember this photo, and somebody posted up a list of in Canada, for instance, if we have the same rights as guns, okay, guns can't vote. In Canada, I would have to keep my gun in a safe, stored, locked place. Do women stay in safe, stored, locked places? Do I have to keep their ammo and the woman separate from the ammo? Do I have to sign a license to have a woman? It's like, yeah, like there's just a whole um let's just get into this. So you want to have the same rights as guns, so fine. You can no longer go to a polling place, enter a courtroom, board a plane, or be found or be around children. You can't be in public unless someone has a license to possess you, and left alone, you must be locked. Yeah, you must be locked to the state. It's like, yeah, like not as stupid as this one, but in the same but on the same peak. Moving on here. I think this one. Oh, I think not all men should be required to spend several hours on a snake pit. Not all snakes are venomous or poisonous, so they should be fine, right? I personally don't know any snakes that have killed people. So that makes all snakes safe. That's how it works, right? Yeah, you just hate men. You fall into the same category as this woman and this woman here, right? Um, false equivalency. I'm just wondering if I'm just gonna go take a look here and see if this one, because this is another one of those women that she made a really stunned, stupid post and then just decided, oh my God, she is actually still on Twitter. Oh, wait, hold on a second. Yeah. Um, yeah, this is another one of those ones that it's like, yeah, she is another one of those ones where it's like you're never going. This is one of these ones that you just can't ever reason with. So don't bother. Men should have curfews and women can go out at night without fear. Well, I hate to break it to you, but men are actually more victims of violent crime than women are. Right? Again, right? This is another one of those absolutely clueless, stupid memes. Like, yeah, like this is outright. This is not only stupid, but it's misandric, right? Like, wow. Okay, going on to the next one. This is another one of those text ones. AITF for letting my husband get a paternity test, and ADA for letting my husband get a paternity test instead of convincing him not to. My husband recently asked me for paternity test because he thinks our son doesn't look like him. I've never cheated on him. He's the only person I've ever been with, and he knows that. I told him he could take the test. Who am I to stop him if that's what he feels he needs? He took it in surprise. Our son is his. He seemed really happy with the result. I told him, congratulations. Now you're sure that your own son, now that it's your own son you're paying child support for. He was confused and asked me what he meant. I told him that if he truly believes I would cheat on him, that we shouldn't have been married in the first place. I packed up, took my son, and we're staying in Hollywood now, plans for divorce. Now, he keeps calling and texting, pleading me to come back. I told him that he had such a problem with the opportunities that I should have just said so instead of acting like a bratty little child and ruining our lives. But I don't see how I'm the one who ruled anything. He's the one who thought I was cheating, and he's so sure that he would be glad he would no longer has to live with someone he doesn't trust. I AITIH for leaving the paternity test confirmed the truth. What would you have done in my place? Taken accountability. You didn't cheat. And again, right? I really don't give a shit at this point, guys. When you're married with the kid and a kid is on the way, you don't sign anything until the paternity test that says that the kid is yours, right? If she got butthurt over this, maybe she should be looking at some of her female friends, looking at some of the actions of women everywhere before getting pissed off about this. It's like, okay, fine, right? You broke up the family because your feels got hurt, right? Now, did the guy have a reason for not trusting you? Okay. Like maybe you weren't cheating, but maybe there was some other suspicious activity that might have caused it, right? Like, yeah. Took the test came back positive. Move on, right? Problem solved. No, your feelings got hurt. So yeah, now you're a single mom. Now the kid has got a much higher chance of ending up in jail or having problems because the dad's not going to be around. All because your feelings got hurt, right? Like sometimes it's just better to just stay together for the sake of the kids, right? Wow. Okay, moving on. Gonna teach my future son to learn how to never break a girl, make a girl heart and make her cry, cut to sleep, cut. Gonna teach my future son to learn how to never break a girl's heart and make her cry to sleep because once it was his mommy. I don't know. Could you maybe keep your legs closed? Again, right? Like this, those two kids, those two boys in there. One of those was me, right? I bought into what you're raising these boys to be is you're raising them to be simps. Go back to this, right? Again, fortunately, what's going on now with this is that there's a manosphere around, so these boys are going to find out what it was that you were doing. The kids will always find out. All right, moving on to the next one here, and this is another text one. Oh wow, this one. It's from accountability is misogyny. For everyone saying this hurts someone, you're right, it does affect. However, ignoring dismissing problems of your brothers. Okay, so somehow, all right, if you're doing that, then I can hold you responsible for all the abuse that you heap on children for the unfair. It's like this is not. All right, let me just read this. For everyone saying this hurts someone, you're right, it does affect. However, ignoring and dismissing the problems of your brothers is why we're all collectively being fucked over. The same misandry and condescension that ignores and punishes male victims, fucks over fathers, demonizes, and indoctrinates little boys into hating themselves, biasly mistreats male students, demonizes masculinity and mental illness, and does everything it can to punish men for being men as they envy all men regardless of race. So why the fuck are you choosing to remain divided among ourselves? All the people telling you that you are wrong for being a man are not divided. The people that hate you for being a male are not divided. Every time some things are different across racial lines, you don't think for a second that they won't do it to you next. So at the end of the day, you're still a man and they still hate you. Yeah. Basically, and I've actually done a couple of this one. Somehow that men, and I've encountered this, like somehow that other men are covering up for other men in this problem. But of course, they completely ignore the fact that women are doing it for women too. So yeah, this is just ridiculous. It's basically it paints all men in the same brush. And again, I see a lot of this continuing on here. Oh, this guy. Again, right? I have not heard of this guy because he's obviously blue pill manosphere, but wow, let's just go through this. Let's go through Yada Awakenings. Stunned, stupid 10 red flags. Listens to Kevin Samuels, Andrew Tate, or Red Pill podcast. That's like the first one. And it's like, no, I'm certainly not. Like, the fact that you started off with that tells me that you should be ignored right off the bat. The band submission, but doesn't lead with love, vision, or stability. That was actually not. That was actually kind of true. But again, right? This guy's a fucking. This guy is a blue pill fucking manosphere moron. Refers to women as females. Well, they are females, right? Believes men are supposed to cheat and women are supposed to stay loyal. Sorry, who the fuck says that? Yeah, like, wow. Wants a soft woman but keeps giving her a hard time. Depends on the woman, right? Again, right? calls women gold diggers but has no gold. Oh, wow. Fuck, man. I will say this about gold diggers. At least with a gold digger, you know what you're dealing with. And yeah, I am perfectly free to call women gold diggers even if I have no gold. Like, wow, what a fucking clueless fucktard this guy is. 7, thinks marriage is a trap for men, but still wants women to serve, cook, stay loyal, and never ask for it. It is a fucking trap, okay? I don't have to think that marriage is a trap. I know marriage is a fucking trap. I know that basically any involvement that I have, again, this guy's never gonna, Yada Awakening is never gonna actually fucking address this. But I mean, it's like, yeah, um, you know, yeah, the current marriage dynamic is corrupt as fuck. Don't expect that this guy's gonna fucking acknowledge that though, because I mean, he's obviously playing to a very particular crowd. 7, believes being a man makes him superior to a woman. Again, right, depends on the context. 9, expects you to cook, clean, submit, and stay pretty, but pours nothing into you. Okay, that can go both ways, right? Let's go back to this post again, right? How about it, Yada? You gonna fucking address that one? You gonna talk about that? No, didn't fucking think so. Glorify struggle, love, and expects you to suffer before you deserve softness. And I'm like, what the fuck, man? Oh God. Right. I listened to a couple of this guy's, went over to this guy's Instagram and listened to him a couple times, and it's like, yeah, right. At some point, right, we're gonna have guys like this, and I'm gonna say this specifically because there's a very good chance that Yada Waking is gonna get to this. Guys like this are the reason why a lot of men are struggling, right? This guy is a blue pill manosphere content creator. There's a reason, again, right? I've noticed that a lot of these blue pill content creators never, ever, ever try to go up against it. Well, for one thing, if they did, they get absolutely fucking destroyed. But I mean, these guys like this, they never go up and try to debate or deal with any of the actual guys in the manosphere because their fucking whole logic falls apart the moment. And it was like right off the bat, right? I mean, I don't listen to Kevin Samuels or any of these other guys, but I mean, yeah, it's like this guy has no fucking clue what he's talking about. And this guy, at some point, there's going to have to be some type of a direct challenge to individuals like this because, I mean, these guys are probably as dangerous, if not more dangerous, than some of the more toxic feminists out there. Next post. Men who rode the piss pussy carousel for decades and think they're entitled to settle down with an 18-year-old version aren't being made fun of hard enough. Yeah, but it's like if you have a fucking body count well into double fucking digits, it shouldn't fucking matter. The hypocrisy is real strong with this one. Also, sexual dynamics. A guy that can get a lot of women requires a significant amount of skill. For a woman to get laid, literally in a lot of cases, all she has to do is just be there. So it's like, yeah, it's not the same thing at all. But again, right, if you started bringing up body count with this woman, she'd probably lose her shit. Moving on. Oh, this one. This one posted up something that was so bad that this one posted up a tweet that was so bad she actually had to shut down her account for a while. This will never happen. The society will like absolutely and utterly collapse if this scenario took place. But again, like this just is like, no, this is not the future. Nothing like this will ever occur. Right, because the society will just like, I mean, the majority of them, like, in order to keep guys in a situation like that, you first of all, what the dynamics of having something like this happen, first of all, you would have to get all the guys in the manosphere, you'd have to get them, either kill them or in jail. And the moment in the process of doing that would in of itself create more opposition than currently exists. So it's like, yeah, like this is not the future. Continuing on. Oh, wow. Okay, yeah, this ties into the Amanda Bates was a woman who was going around, and I mean, I don't know how this show did on Netflix, but I mean, all of the boys were white, and it was like, yeah, this particular video again, right? There is a I don't know who it is, and I'm having to imagine someday in Britain that they will find out who it is. I suspect Julie Bindel is in on this crowd. There's likely a group, a feminist contingent inside the British government right now that is encouraging this type of behavior, and they're not the majority, but things are really starting to fall apart there. And again, right, the manosphere is growing incrementally, and it was movies like Adolescence that were a big part of it. Moving on to the next one here. We're a young woman with herpes and we won't be shamed. Well, good for you. Again, when I was telling you about high body count, okay, maybe you slept with the wrong guy. Okay, you won't be shamed. Just letting you know that childbirth is going to be a very, very difficult process for you. You will probably have to have a C-section. You chose to have sex with a guy who had herpes and you did not bother to check. And yeah, that's on you. Good luck dealing with it, because I'm not going anywhere near you. And again, it's not about being shamed. It's about the fact that, again, right, when I did video 14 reasons why having a high body count is a bad thing. Like, did you have a high body count? Were you being selective? Were you using protection? Doesn't look like you were. All right, moving on. Okay, Lainey Molnar. Oh, well, yeah. I'm probably going to have to do a response to Lainey Molnar at some point. But yeah, this is Lainey Molnar. Just, I mean, her cartoons look, sound, and look stunning and brave inside the feminist sphere. But when she steps out of the feminist sphere and does this sort of stuff, it just falls right apart. And yeah, this is not even a reasonable false equivalent. This is a false equivalency. And I'm not even going to get into Lainey Molnar right now. Um, Woman with a lot of issues to deal with. Next photo. Masculinity will not save man. Oh my God. Again, right? You want to know why? Um, Again, this one just assumes that all men are going MAGA, and that all men in the ministry are going MAGA. They're not. But if you're going to expect that weak men, like, oh, let me go back here because I found it here early, found it here a couple of weeks ago when I did a video on this. There's a one here that well, I really don't. I'm not gonna find it, but I mean, there's a whole bunch of guys basically doing beta stuff, and again, right, this is women not taking accountability for it, and again, right, it's like the solution will come to the surface whether women like Sarah Jones want to take accountability or not. Right? Period. End of story. Right. Moving on to the next one here. Yeah. This is diversity is a strength as long as they're all thinking the same. Yeah, James Wood just absolutely owned it here. And of course, Yeti Yef absolutely got taken down. I'm going to go see whether he's actually still on here. Much to my surprise, some of these guys actually are still on here. Let me just take a look. Let me just take a look here. Oh, wow. Okay, so he's still on here. Let me just think whether he's. Okay, yeah. Um, oh, yeah. Okay, so yeah, another leftist. Yeah, he just absolutely got owned. He's not a hardcore leftist, but it was like, yeah, he got exactly what he deserved. Next one is another wall of text here. Oh, this one again. All right, I'm going to have to just remove this one. I already had this one up, so I can just remove it. All right, no, there we go. I'll move over to the next one here. Delete. No woman leaves a man because he breaks. Women leave men when they're disrespected, undervalued. Oh, that's just not fucking true. That is just not true at all. Um, you know, again, right? It's not necessarily. It's not all women, but at the same time, it's also not all, you know. But if you're going to use that excuse for, but if you're going to use the same excuse for men on this, then it's like for women on this, then it's like then you're gonna then it also applies to men as well. So then it's not all men either, right? So what goes down here is, you know, yeah, women do leave a man because, in fact, I could think of half a dozen women that left men. Even worse, they left men after they got into debilitating accidents and could no longer work. That's when they left. Right? So yeah, like don't pull that bullshit with me. Moving on. How most conversation with men feel. Maybe you guys shouldn't sexually assault, abuse, murder, or try to legislate our right to our bodies. Well, man, y'all wants to pay for a date, so y'all divorce us, so maybe it's even. It's not. That is not even a approximate close consistency. It's not just paying for dates and divorce. It's child custody. It's the Duluth model. It's the corrupt family and divorce courts. It's lifetime alimony. It's false accusations. It is uneven medical funding. It's unequal educational opportunities. I could go on and on and on and on and on. Right? It's father's rights. You know, you want to know how conversations with most women like you feel? Like maybe you shouldn't be projecting because some asshole decided to do the things that you're accusing them of doing, and then try to say that men are attempting to minimize it when they're not. Moving on to the next one. Oh, women actually do like nice guys. Yeah, of course they like nice guys. I mean, look at all of the goodies they get from simps. Go back up here. Of course they like nice guys. They like them for different reasons, because you're handy and because you're useful. And no, maybe it isn't because, and again, right, goes back into the male feminist doing this because they think they can have access to pussy. And I mean, I wouldn't necessarily want to touch feminist poon anyway, but yeah. You want another one? How about this one? Right? Yeah. Just gonna throw that out there. Right? It's not just that. It's the fact that you're grooming, that you use simps. Okay, next one. Mom goes viral after revealing how she de-pilled her red-pilled son. No, you didn't de-pill your red-pilled son. You probably verbally berated him and made consequences for your son so steep that he just doesn't want it, and he didn't have any power in the situation to leave. So he's just going along with it, right? Like, you didn't de-pill him. What's going to happen is that when the son becomes old enough, he's going to go right. He's going to eventually find his way back to the red pill. And if your de-pilling worked, well, first of all, I need to know how old this boy was. But I mean, if your de-pilling worked, then why aren't other women using it? Because it doesn't work, right? And like, son's going to get older, and when the son gets older and gets some agency in his life, he's going to go back to the red pill. So you didn't de-pill him, you just simply delayed the inevitable. Moving on. Oh, look, another one of those the ones where they stole the meme from the manosphere and trying to use it here. Consume misogynist to contact become misogynist. Why women like me? That's not how it works. Somebody gets into the manosphere and gets red-pilled, especially if they discover the MGTOW faction of the manosphere, it no longer becomes relevant whether they're actually going to be. Then it doesn't matter whether women like them or not, because it becomes irrelevant. Anyway, moving on. Like, yeah, and also, yeah, stolen meme from the manosphere. Just say, oh, sorry, not from the manosphere, stolen from Gamergate. Did seriously, just going back here for a second. Do they ever come up with, other than Lainey Molnar and a couple of other women, do they actually come up with anything original? Right? Moving on to the next one here. Same thing with this one here. Right? Another one borrowed from the Manosphere. Right? Do they come up with anything original? Like, there's some exceptions to it, but for the most part, yeah. All right, moving on to the next one here. Oh wow, okay. I doubled up again. Okay, I'm gonna have to delete that one. No, your wife's son can't be your legacy of blame. My wife is my legacy of my family, so logic dictates her son is to by default. Get a brain. Okay, well, superhero fanverse is just one of those brain dead fucking groups on Facebook. No, your wife's sons can't be your legacy or bloodline. My wife is my legacy and my family, so logic dictates her son is too by default. It's yeah, like this is just another one. The guy, I don't know who the fuck it is that runs superhero fanverse, but the guy's a fucking idiot, right? I mean, I like again, right? When this is one of those ones when you look at it, it's like what the fuck, and then you kind of like take a look at it, and it's like it just sounds and looks stupider the more and more I look at it, right? Like, yeah, you know, uh, I haven't heard any guy in the manosphere say anything like this. But then again, superhero fan versus just a fucking idiot anyway. So we're almost there, folks. We are almost there. Almost at the end. Next one. Money does not matter to women. Yeah, then explain this. Explain this. Yeah, I mean, just like complete, absolute lack of awareness. Money does not matter to women. I would sooner date a high T gym owner making 300K a user than a loser. First of all, most men don't make 300,000 a year. Wow, fuck, what a clueless fucking idiot. Like, wow, what a fucking yeah. Like I had to read it again. It's like, yeah, this is like it's stupider than it actually sounds when you actually look at it. It is. Going on to the next one here. Oh God. Right. I noticed this crisis of lonely men. Nobody is suggesting dudes change their attitudes, values, and behaviors and lower their standards or else they'll die alone with their cats and diplomat. That's Uju ejecting. I also noticed the crisis that carries the assumption that men are entitled to partners. Okay, yeah, again, right? And partners and are being denied to save them, but you all lonely, but a better hurry, whatever is necessary to catch one because nothing guaranteed and you ain't getting any younger. It's like, yeah, again, right? That entitlement, which of course gets negated by this and this. And of course, there's other memes that I found earlier that also apply here. Yeah. 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 Like just like sheer stupidity. And again, I don't know. Let me see if this one is actually, I can't actually even, I can barely read that. Uju Anya. Okay, let's just see if she's actually on here anywhere. Probably is. Let me just go check Twitter here. Gonna go to Twitter because it's like at least half of these women I either have deleted their profiles or have blotted them out, although there have been some exceptions. Oh, this one is still around. Let me just take a look here. Oh yeah, major Trump derangement syndrome. Uh, Free Palestine. Oh yeah, man. Complete fucking idiot. Enough said. Moving on to the next one. Not many left, folks. Just letting you know. Again, right, this one. Don't chase. Yeah. Um, I had this happen to me. Uh, it's a high school thing. However, some women never grow up and never grow out of this. So what can I say, right? The first time, though, I will reiterate a story. The first time when I was working at this resort in Banff National Park, right? And there was this, well, I don't know, she was a female coworker, whatever, and I had an interaction with her. Out of sight, out of mind, but whenever I saw her again, I would just go up and talk to her and whatnot. And then all of a sudden, she goes up to what was my best friend at the time when I was at this hotel, and basically accuses me of this. And I'm like, sorry. And my first response was like, what? Who? No, out of sight, out of mind, right? But yeah, that's how self centered women can be. We're almost at the end, folks. Almost at the end. Oh, wow. Is there anything more pathetic than a transgender trying to look tough? Kill Christ cucks, behead Christ cucks, round kick a Christ cuck into the concrete, slam a Christ cuck baby into the trash can, crucify filthy Christ cucks, defecating Christ cucks food. Um, this was the one that was found in regards to uh, Tyler Robinson. Again, right? Like, you want to, if you think you're going to try to like get the trans community to understand that what they're doing is wrong, you need only take a look at this and realize it's like just absolutely, and it's like, again, right, stunning and brave, but yeah, you shot the messenger. Moving on to the next one here. Face palm. Yeah, actually, it does. If I ran a DNA test, what would come back? What would it show? Yeah, it would show that you're a guy. Yeah. I'm through trying to co-sign other people's mental illness. Like, I am. I'm fucking done. Right? Yeah, it does make you less of a girl. It does. Keep going on here. Almost there. Every man has two options: either stand up and be the man she needs you to be, or sit the fuck down so she can see the man standing behind you. And it's like he has this really tough alpha looking guy. And this is also, this is posted up at a, brought in from a men's site. It's like, no, how about I go my own way and fuck your standards? And if you try to make me sit the fuck down, it will not go well for you. How's that for a response? Right? Done doing the fucking mating song and dance. I am, right? Don't really give a shit whether you approve or not, and I certainly do not be told by anybody to either shut the fuck up or sit the fuck down. How about you shut the fuck up? You want her? Have at her, dude. Right? No water off my back. Not anymore. Ha! Wow. Okay. Last one. Thank God. Asking your wife for a DNA test should be a criminal offense. You trust her. Why marry her in the first place? Because women cheat, and in places where paternity tests are done, there's something like 20 to 30% of them turns out what the man wasn't the actual dad. Also, by the way, the reason why they're not too big on paternity tests is that they take a paternity test and you've been paying child support for a child and you find out that child isn't yours. Paternity tests kill that like immediately. That's why they don't like it. And yeah, there's a lot of reasons why. And again, guys, I gotta keep saying this, and I'm gonna keep saying this to you over and over and over again. Doesn't matter whether you think she's cheated or not. Do not sign anything in regards to the child that you think you just had until the paternity test says that that is your kid, right? Otherwise, you'll end up either getting emotionally attached or you end up paying money for a child that isn't yours. I have a family member, and I don't say anything to the guy because it's like, you know, like, the there's just a lot, there's just something really off about it. The only thing I will say about it is that brown hair, blue eyes, black hair or brown hair and brown eyes. That's what every single, well, okay, there's a couple of the nephews don't look that way anymore. But for the most part, brown hair, black hair, and brown eyes. Somehow, with no blue-haired, blonde hair, blue-eyed people anywhere in the family, a family member of mine somehow has a kid that has blonde hair and blue eyes. Make it make sense. I'm not going to confront this guy on it because it's, it's like, I mean, I might gather some DNA at some point in a few years time, but it's like, yeah, like, yeah, get a paternity test, right? Because you just never know. And it's like, yeah, the reason why they don't like DNA tests is because it gives men some agency in their life, right? And they don't like that very much. Just gonna see if this idiot is actually on. Let me just take a look here and see if this. Oh, yeah, she is, and she even has the same photo too. Yeah, and an entitled attitude to boot. Wow. Oh, wow. Okay. That concludes the memes. I'm sorry that I went a couple of months without doing these. I won't be doing this as much anymore, but I needed to get this off my chest. I'm going to point something out here. I'm going to be taking a different tack on these memes from this point forward. What I'm going to be doing here is, and again, I got reminded by somebody in Sterling, I'm not going to be worried so much about attacking the woman, right? It's going to be more about informing the guy about what he should be doing in these situations for the most part. Hopefully these 4 videos give you some tools that you can use to respond to some of the insanity. And by the way, you know what? This is only over just a couple of months. And no, again, as I said at the very start, I did not go looking for these. They found their way to me. And I am going, and I realize this is going to potentially be somewhat uncomfortable for some of you to admit to, but you have to consider the very real possibility here that it is they, and I think it's probably true, right? That like there's no point in trying to argue with or reason with feminists for sure and women in general, right? I am not seeing a large wave of women falling all over themselves to disavow this behavior. I am not seeing a lot of women wising up collectively to this misandry, calling out the bear situation. I mean, yeah, I see a few now doing it, but it's like they're very few and far between, right? Is it worth your while to engage with these women? No, it's not. Uh, I mean, I found this out like not the necessarily the hard way, but there was one at one particular face group that I just got so sick and tired of her bullshit that I had to just block her because she would just go on. Again, like literally the same one, She would post something up, then she would post something else up. It would be this long screed where she would like literally contradict herself. Just think about that. All of these, with very rare exceptions, all of them from the last 4 videos, all of these, I did not go looking for a single one of these. They all showed up on my feed in one form of social media or another. And you're noticing a trend here with all of these, and that is the fact that, I mean, even the conservative crowd is not really amicable or approachable to doing anything about this. So yeah, is it worth trying? No, is it worth trying to reason with this crowd? I don't think so. Right? Like, just go through 12, 11, 10, and 9. Just go through them and take a look. I accumulated those memes and those articles in just 2 months' time. 2 months. Let that sink in. Okay? Just go take a look at all. Just take a look how they contradict. Just take a look at how they behave. Just take a look how they justify. And take a look how they dodge accountability. Right? Just take a look at all of it. Right? Even this one. Like, just take a look at it. Right? What, you think I'm going to want to get involved or get married in a situation like this? Right? No, I don't. And with that in mind, I am going to conclude this. I hope you enjoyed it. Yeah, I will see you. I'm going to try and do RPN 347 tomorrow. I don't know. Well, sorry, I don't know what number it is. Hold on a second here. Let me just take a look. I think it's 464. I'm going to try and do 464 tomorrow. Different type of show, but that is it for tonight. Thank you all for patiently allowing me to go through this. I will see you on the next one. Oh, and additional. No, I am going to be covering other stuff other than memes from this point forward. I mean, I will do a meme show every once in a while because I don't want to have to do them all the time, right? But I mean, yeah, I was seriously behind here. I'm just glad to get all of this off my plate. One less thing I got to worry about. Okay, now I'm done.